Hey everybody, Rich here, Rich's Custom Marine and Auto. We're going to be working on this 2007 V6 Mustang. The customer has requested that I clean the windshield drains. We're going to have to remove this cowl cover and we'll take the windshield wiper arms off. I'm assuming most of the 5th generation Mustangs will be similar to this. I think 04 to 09 or 04 to 10, something like that, should be similar to this. Start off by pulling out these little guys, back out the screw in the center a little bit, and then just get you a little trim tool, go underneath there and pop those up. And next thing we're going to do is we'll get those wiper arms out of the way. Well, the wiper arms are stuck pretty good, so I used a 3-jaw puller, and I had previously ground these down before. With these ground down, there was room in there to get all 3 jaws like so, and then the center pin, of course, I left the nut on there, backed it off about half a turn from being flush, so that center would have something to go on, and then that just popped this thing off. No damage at all. So let me get the other one off and then we'll start pulling that cowl cover. So this side will come out first because it's over the top of the other one. It's got these little plastic retainers, so it's kind of bring it up and towards you. I'm waiting on my helper because in order to clear this corner, the hood's going to have to be down somewhat, but not all the way down. So we'll get that thing out of there. Alright, so this is the corner that we were trying to get to clear, and what it's got to clear is it catches back here underneath that hood hinge bracket, and what you'll need to do is you might be able to do it with a piece of wood, but the easiest just to have a helper. Hold the hood down about halfway. That way you can reach your arm underneath the hood. And then once you get it popped out of those keepers up there, then you can get it kind of worked back a little bit, and then it'll go towards the center and come out. A little bit of a pain in the neck. So now that we're in here, we've got to locate these drains. It should be down in the corner down in there, and try and get those things cleared out. So I'm going to take a soft bristle brush, spray a little bit of water in there, a little bit of cleaner, and try and get that gunk out of there. And then we'll see, this is one of the keepers for the panel. But once we get it cleaned up in there, then we can see what we're working with. Alright, so all these slots, those are the grommets, and this is what they look like. All you have to do to get them out is take a small flathead screwdriver and press it underneath here and push in on that, and then these things will pop right out. The procedure here is to pull those out, clean up around them, and then there's actually a service bulletin, which I'll put that service bulletin number in the description, to replace these due to water leaking into the cabin. So there's 10 of them. There's, of course, there's the one down in there, and then 5 across, and 5 across over there. Basically what you do is you put these new grommets in place when you get them. You snap them in and then heat them lightly with a heat gun on low, and it has a heat activated sealant that will kind of soften, and then it makes a nice seal. That way water doesn't leak down inside the cabin that runs off the windshield anymore. So after we do that, then we'll go ahead and put this thing back together. Alright, so I got those in and heated. Next thing I want to show you is the drains. So right there is the wiper motor, and you can see that opening underneath. So somebody has already removed the drain plug. On the passenger side, on these cars, that's where the cabin air filter goes. That guy. And down in there you can see the other one. So that one had just fallen down inside. So you guys can see how these work. This thing pops in there like so, but they're open on the bottom. And what happens is, you could probably see that I need to vacuum down in there, which I will get to. But all that stuff, debris from trees and other stuff like that, falls down inside of these and then clogs that little slot. So not sure why whoever had removed this just left it laying down in there, but they did. Most people just remove them, and then I'll show you. You can see where the light is shining through down kind of on the firewall lip there. That's where the water will drain to. So now this thing will fill up so much with water that you'll get water coming inside the car up through where that cabin air filter goes. So you definitely want to make sure you keep that thing cleaned out. Now, depending on if you're parked underneath trees or something, you might have to pull these plastic cowl pieces off maybe a couple times a year. But yeah, so if you're having any issues with water leakage inside, that's the procedure for doing that. Now, of course, we'll just pop these back in place, put the wipers back on, and snug those arms back down. So, and that'll have this one wrapped up. Just make sure you clock your wipers correctly. You can see on the windshield there where ours sat, so that if you get them clocked too high, they'll actually come off the side over here. Just make sure you clock them correctly. And so guys, when you put your wiper arms back on, the nut that goes on there, you want to torque that down to 20 foot-pounds, and then the procedure says to turn it an additional 90 degrees. Definitely make sure you have a hand on the wiper arm so you don't put that much torque onto the linkage assembly. So once you make sure it's lined up in those splines properly by moving it a little bit, and then it'll drop on, and then put the nut on, torque it to 20 foot-pounds, and then grab a hold of it over here while you're doing the additional 90 degrees. So hey guys, hope that helps you out. I think the 05 to 14 Mustangs are similar, so this procedure should help out for a bunch of them. I'm not really sure about all the years. This is an 07. 05 to 09s are very similar. Hopefully if you've got a leak, this is a good procedure to check these out, replace those grommets, and check those plugs we talked about, and because a lot of stuff does get caught up in there. So like I said, I'll vacuum out that little bit of debris that's in there, get that all cleaned up before I put the cowl pieces back on. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the video, and hopefully this helps you out. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one.